In a town 58,000 strong, there moved a foreigner. He was a Jewish man from the ocean. Yet, he traveled to a land with no water to find a new life. He arrived upon plains so big, you could only call it the middle of nowhere. Now, live from a land so vast, this is his cast.
Oh, the humanity.
Cowboys, cowgirls, studs, mares, and farmers of all ages. This is the middle of nowhere cast.
Do I get to interview you then?
Yeah, you can if you want. What do you have to ask me?
Have we started?
We started.
Oh,
it
great.
already started.
This is it.
Action.
Okay. Well, tell me about yourself.
Oh, okay.
I know your name is Robby.
Yes, my name is Robby. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I live in Casper, Wyoming.
Okay.
I'm on my way home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
And I'm running the Philly Marathon, so I'm doing both those things.
Fun.
Yes, and I'm interviewing state legislatures along the way.
Cool.
Which brings me to you. Who are you?
That's so fun. I'm Machaela Cavanagh. I'm state senator in Omaha, Nebraska. When I introduce myself during committee hearings, I say Machaela Cavanagh, District 6, LD6, West Central Omaha, Douglas County. So my district is very large as far as like an urban district goes. Rural districts obviously are enormous, but my district starts at Omaha's like a grid. So 72nd and then east or west to 144th.
Okay.
So like east of me, east of 72nd to 1 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legislative districts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're pretty close to the border.
Yeah,
For everybody that's not familiar with local geography.
And then
yes.
from 72nd to 144th is me.
Oh, wow. So do you have the biggest population-wise in Omaha?
No. Population-wise in Omaha? No, I don't think so. I think actually some of the districts east of me have a larger population because we should have an extra state senator here when we did redistricting in 2020, but we, within a certain margin up and down, we stacked heavier in the urban areas so that the rural areas could be smaller and they could have more senators.
Got it. I see.
Yeah.
How many people do you represent?
Around 30,000.
That's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
How does the weight of that ever bear heavy on your shoulders?
The weight of the 30,000, no. The weight of the whole state, yes. Because I do advocate for my constituents, but my district is the most representative district of the state.
Oh, that's cool.
Economically and racial diversity. So I have a very a snapshot of what the state looks like is my district, which is a lot of things.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So, I mostly feel the weight of child welfare on my shoulders.
You do a lot of work with that, and then you're heavy in the education sector as well.
Yeah, I care about public education significantly, but child welfare is really what I feel like we don't do enough oversight on or investment in. So
I was wondering, I talked to your good friend yesterday, Senator Brian Hardin.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I was in Scottsbluff.
Wait, did you interview him?
Yes, I did.
Oh, well, I can't wait to see that.
It was good. It was a thrilling conversation on tax and energy, so just riveting for everybody, I'm sure. He said you guys get along and agree on most things, which is pretty good.
He did.
Maybe I'm remembering a little bit differently, but
did he say what we agree on? I would love to know.
He didn't say that.
He didn't say what we agree on?
What do you agree with him on anything?
I don't know.
Open to the possibility of?
Well, sure. I'm not really sure what his thinking is.
Well, I guess
or his process or where he stands on specific things, because he doesn't engage that much.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
He was very receptive to me. I don't know, which is part of the whole Omaha nice, Nebraska nice culture.
Yeah.
You guys are like the nicest state in the entire country.
That's not true.
You called me before this and asked if I needed coffee or anything.
Well, that's just common courtesy.
I don't know. I don't think my own representative in Wyoming would do that under any circumstances.
What?
That's just the Nebraska nice. I was in Valentine.
I knew you were driving this morning from North Platte, and I was getting coffee, so
it was an early morning.
Why would I not?
I had filled up in Lincoln, my car and cup, so I was okay.
Where did you get coffee in Lincoln?
At Phillips 66.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a quick in and out. I don't have but you so okay. Anyway, what was I saying?
I'm gonna drink this coffee now.
When I'm doing research to interview all these different senators, I'm thinking I see a pattern where the Democratic ones all like, you guys focus on your issues like, social rights, education, like advocacy, women's rights, like all like that just kind of feels like a sphere around there. And then all the Republican guys, mostly guys, I would say, is fair.
Yes.
They all focus on like, they all want to do taxes and business structures and property, allotments and all. How come you guys like, it seems like it makes so much sense to me that you would be the yin and the yang and that you could come together and everybody could get what they want.
Yeah.
But then when it actually comes out on the table, it's like, F what you're saying, F what you're saying.
Well, I would say that I focus on economic issues. But in a different way than that, I focus on economic issues and how they impact working families and like affordable housing, affordable healthcare, affordable childcare. And without those things, we can't have a thriving economy. We can't have a workforce and good, strong public schools. And so I focus on having a community that people want to live, work in, and raise a family. And I do focus on taxes a lot, actually. But I guess it's not the thing that I maybe talk about as much publicly because, taxes are taxes. Like,
it's true. It doesn't get people involved.
Well, I mean, depending on what they are, I've introduced numerous times since my first year in the legislature a tax increase on cigarette tax. And it's the only tax increase that I really would support. And the only reason that I support it, even though I believe that a tax on cigarettes is a regressive tax, just like a tax on food, but the health outcomes that are tied to increasing the tax on cigarettes are so significant that I think it's worth doing. But only if that money is then put into our healthcare cash fund and used to improve health outcomes in the state, not to offset property tax, which is what some of my colleagues and the governor want to do.
Oh, I see. So I see. They want to raise the taxes on that so other people can have. But wouldn't you say that an argument I heard yesterday is that if you lower the property tax, you incentivize more people to come move here and bring their business here. And Nebraska needs that, is what I'm told, because you guys aren't number one in tourism. I don't know why, personally. It is for me, this state. But
when people say that, they are making assumptions based on no facts or information that people are not moving here because of the property taxes. And it's anecdotal at best to say that people aren't moving here because of the property taxes. I mean, as young-ish person, I grew up here. If I were to move somewhere else, I would look at the state and think, oh, this state spends a lot of time and energy trying to attack public education. And this state spends a lot of time and energy trying to attack vulnerable populations like the trans community, which, like, why do you care? Why do you care if 4 people play sports? Why are you using state time and dollars to litigate or legislate a couple of kids less than 10 playing sports?
I do definitely want to get into trans issues.
But
yes.
But is that a state I want to move to? Is that a value system? Like, maybe people don't want to move here from Chicago because they think that it's a little bit ridiculous what the state is focusing on. These sort of culture war issues that are put on Democrats, like we're the ones fighting these culture wars. I'm not fighting a culture war. I didn't pick the fight. You picked the fight. I'm just not backing down from the fight. So, yeah, I mean, it's a distraction on purpose. And
what are they distracting for, though? Like, what's the ultimate goal?
Well, first of all, to make it look like Democrats just care about trans people and we don't care about anything else, and making that controversial. So using a marginalized community and demonizing a marginalized community to attach them to Democrats as though we're just like liberal, what do they say? Woke liberal extremists. I don't even know. When the reality is that I care about marginalized communities. I care about not targeting marginalized communities, whether it's immigrants, trans people, people of color, women, children, doesn't matter who the marginalized community is. I care about protecting marginalized communities and ensuring that they can live a safe and healthy, happy life like the rest of us. And so by targeting them, they're distracting away from economic issues, like the fact that we cut corporate and income taxes for the 1% in Nebraska a couple of years ago, which is why we are heading into a massive deficit next year.
You guys have, it's like $481 million?
Sure.
Or something like that.
I mean,
which sounds like a lot, but then I was researching it, and your state budget's like $11 billion.
Yeah.
So it's not like, as a fraction, it's not as much, but it's also probably.
Except for we have rated all of our cash funds this last year, and we have rated our rainy day fund. So
you have nothing.
So if we don't cut or increase taxes, we don't have any.
Oh,
and we are continuing. We have stepped down our income and corporate tax cuts that we enacted a couple of years ago. So we're going to be even further down the drain. And the idea is that you cut those taxes, but free investment, trickle down economics or whatever you want to call it, is going to result in our economics being better. More people are going to move here because we have lower income tax. More people are going to move here because we have lower property tax. But we don't actually have lower property tax. That's all a lie.
I think, what Senator Hardin was telling me yesterday, and you're going to have to go back and listen to the podcast, anybody who's listening now who doesn't know what I was talking about.
Me too.
And you. But what he was saying yesterday was that he doesn't want to just like cut all the income tax. He just wants to make you guys competitive. Because when you look at the states that you guys border, Wyoming, I have 0 income tax. South Dakota has 0 income tax. He's saying it's 6%. That's just like...
South Dakota taxes food.
No, they don't tax food.
Yes, they do.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wyoming doesn't tax food.
South Dakota
taxes food. But is that restaurants or grocery stores?
Grocery stores.
Are you sure?
I lived there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it, because I think taxes. I also work at a high school in Casper, and we have tax exempt cards.
Okay.
And I was just at the grocery store in Sturgis for a track meet, and they said they didn't have any tax on the food there.
At the grocery store in Sturgis?
Yeah, because I said I have a tax exempt card, and they said, "Oh, we don't tax that."
Maybe they don't anymore. They certainly used to.
Oh,
but
interesting.
So then, where's your income come from? Your state income?
That's a great question that I still don't understand. A lot of it's from property taxes, which we just cut as well.
Yeah.
And we also have like cities and municipalities are authorized to do a penny tax on a bunch of stuff. So that's how we fund a lot of our city projects.
Like sales or like...
Yeah, like it's like they'll propose, like we just built a new animal shelter, and a penny from every sale that happens in the city goes to the animal shelter until it's funded.
And then, fun. So what is your sales tax rate?
We are at 6.25%.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what your property tax rate is?
Income property.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think
you don't have income tax. You don't tax food. Your sales tax is 6.5%.
It's very nice tax-wise to live there. And I personally don't understand where they get the money from. I'm told it's property taxes.
Then your property taxes would have to be really high.
And I don't think they're astronomically high. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm talking about something I don't know about. So
I'm curious how that works.
We have a ton of
what are your
oil and stuff like that, and I would assume that some of it comes from there, just because.
Do you have a corporate tax?
No, we don't. We have 0 0% corporate tax. I know that because I own a business there.
No corporate tax, no income tax.
It's awesome. When I file my taxes on tax day, I just do federal. I don't do a single thing for the state.
Wow. That's fascinating. How are your social programs? How are your public schools?
Our public schools are actually really good.
That's where that's been with.
The structures and everything is maintained by the oil industry, and the rest comes from our state government.
Like the oil industry has like a foundation, or
like they just built, I think they were like, we're going to ruin like the natural beauty and rob your land clean. So the least we could do is build you pre-high school is what the sense I got. Like my high school is gorgeous. It's a beautiful brick building. It's like 100 years old, and the oil companies built it.
Wow. That's interesting.
Giving back to the community, I
guess.
Yeah, but I think, and the last year's testing scores came out, and we are in like the top third of the nation when it came to how smart our kids are. So,
wow,
very proud of our kids.
Yeah,
they're doing well.
Well, I mean, that's great. Sounds like you guys have figured out how to run government better than Nebraska has.
I don't know if I'd say that. I think we still have a lot of problems, and my biggest issue right now is with our Freedom Caucus, as they call themselves. Do you guys have a Freedom Caucus?
And not officially. We don't have caucuses.
You guys are unicameral.
We are.
Which is the word of the day. Which I learned, and I love that.
Oh, yeah, we are a unicameral. Yes, and we are a nonpartisan unicameral, which means that we don't have party leadership within the structure of our government. And when you run for office, it's an open primary. So the top two people go through. It doesn't matter the party affiliation, and your party's not on the ballot.
I was wondering how primaries worked because I couldn't connect those dots together.
Yeah. So when I ran the first time, there were three of us, one Republican, myself, and another Democrat.
Okay.
And myself and the Republican made it through the primary. And so then she and I were in the general. When I ran for re-election, it was myself and two Republicans, and one of the Republicans made it through the primary, and me. So,
and you guys can only do 2 terms, right?
Yes.
And then I think so like on paper, like structurally, you guys seem to have really good state government because
the 2 terms is the worst part.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because you can't get anything done?
Well, term limits really kind of destroy the institution of the legislature because now it's new people constantly. And so this sort of like historical knowledge, but also, I guess, reverence for the institution itself has really eroded, and partisanship has really been creeping in more and more and more.
And unicameral.
Right. But so what was fascinating is that before term limits, the average term was 7.5 years, which is basically 2 terms. So people self-selected not to run more than 2 terms. The reason we got term limits was because we're racist. And there was a gentleman named Ernie Chambers who served in the legislature for over 40 years. And in order to get rid of him, we enacted term limits. And he sat out for 1 term, 4 years, and then he ran again and served for another 8 years. Now, he is well into his 80s now, so he's not going to serve again.
That's horrible.
Yeah, wow. And my Republican colleagues also think that it's horrible. And they recognize that 2 terms is not enough time to sort of build on things. And so instead of doing small incremental change year after year after year, people come in and they feel like they have to move the needle really far because you have such a short amount of time. And so we get sloppy legislation that we then have to fix year after year after year. And we get hyperpartisanship, and it's really bad for Nebraska.
I think
it's good for me.
I've never thought about it on the state level before, but on the constituent side at the federal level, I see term limits as a bad thing because it feels like then you can just stay in your office in Washington forever and make a bunch of money and never do anything.
Sure, I see that too. Yeah. I mean, I think campaign finance reform is necessary to address that issue. I do
just get that. Like, why? Like, this is so ridiculous. Like, I feel like everybody wants that.
I mean, not everybody.
Not people that are directly benefiting from it, I guess. But, like, I have a spine, dude. You're like, it's literally your representative. Like, it's whatever.
Well, so in other states where there's term limits, there's 2 houses. So oftentimes the dynamic is that if you serve in the Senate, you go to the House and vice versa. So that institutional knowledge doesn't actually leave the building. It just goes to a different chamber.
I see.
And we don't have that. So that's another layer to like why term limits aren't great in Nebraska. And so now the lobbyists have more power and influence because they're the ones that have the institutional knowledge. So term limits in Nebraska have turned out to give special interests more power. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not great.
It's not. No.
Okay. That's cool. Well, I had such a rosy picture of the Nebraska state government in my mind.
I'm so sorry.
And now it's all coming and crashing and burning because...
Just let it crash and burn. There are good things.
Okay.
I mean...
Give me some optimism.
So since I've been in the legislature, well, it was a bad thing that happened, but we had a fraudulent contract with St. Francis Ministries, which is a company that does child welfare out of Kansas. And we entered into this contract with them. It ended up to be really, really bad. And they had underbid by I think they said their cost was going to be 60% less than what the previous contract was with Promise Ship. And child welfare is really expensive. And we had done a cost study, and it said that the Promise Ship was offering or was doing the contract at less than what the state could do it. So we were doing pretty good as far as the cost went, and now we took a 60% underbid. Obviously that's not going to go well.
What are you guys doing for kids?
Well, so what we did was I looked into the company, I investigated it myself, and I documented it and got a lot of evidence, and then I brought it to our executive committee and with a resolution to create a special investigative oversight committee into the child welfare contract, which then we ended up using our subpoena power to subpoena them and state agencies to come and testify in front of us, which resulted in us terminating the contract and ending the privatization of child welfare. So now child welfare is with the state instead of privatized. And I was able to do that working with my Republican colleagues.
Your colleagues, not your Republican colleagues, right?
My Republicans. Well, no, it was. I mean, yes, but they are Republicans. The leadership across the board at that time, and
not to take away from your
right. No, but they're all
probably good.
They're all Republicans. One of them is the Attorney General right now, who I worked on this with. One of them is the Speaker currently.
Right.
One of them is the current Executive Board Chair, and they all worked with me very closely to make this happen. And that's not an easy thing to do if you're even the party in power. But if you're the super minority, so that's an instance where not caucusing, not having that party infrastructure works to the advantage of the people.
Go Nebraska.
See?
Yeah.
See?
Boom. Okay, my rosy picture is restored.
Our child welfare system is a complete mess right now.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah.
But that has nothing to do with that.
I think I've never heard of a good story out of the child, by and large.
Yeah.
Never heard anybody be like, oh, we actually have that down.
Yeah.
It's operating and it's fully funded and it's really good for everybody involved.
Well, so now we're in a new administration from that contract, and the current administration is really hyper-focused on property tax relief at the expense of literally everything else, including child welfare. So they are canceling contracts that we have with private vendors and bringing everything in-house and then cutting their own budget by $50 million. So
is there not fluff that we can find somewhere else? Why do we have to take it from where?
No, absolutely.
Where to take it from?
Yeah, no, where could we take it from? Well, we have $1.2 billion in two different cash funds that are for property tax relief. We do not levy property tax at the state level. It is a local tax. It is a county tax. So we are sending money back for property tax relief using income taxes. And you don't own property. So if you pay income taxes and you don't own property, you're paying
property tax.
You're paying for other people's property tax relief.
Oh, that's not cool.
No, that's not cool.
No. I also
Yeah.
Wow. You explained stuff in a very easily digestible way. I'd appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's very good. I was having a hard time yesterday.
If this was a whiteboard, I would be with a mark.
Oh my God.
I mean, so to the earlier comments, I talk about taxes a lot. I can dig deep into taxes. It's just whether or not that's what people that I'm talking to are interested in.
I say we can, like, why not? The way I do the podcast is it's us two in the room, and if somebody else finds it interesting, that's on them. But I'm here for me because I love Nebraska. I'm trying to learn more about it. So I like it.
All right. Well, so what else can I tell you about Nebraska?
Can we talk about weed really quickly?
We can talk about it quickly or slowly.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's see how long it takes. Do you support the legalization of weed?
Yes.
Why?
Well, first of all, I like fewer crimes.
I like fewer crimes, but
that's just a baseline for me.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on everything you have to say right now, but I will also preference in the spirit of academic honesty and say I'm a big proponent of
I'm aware.
Of weed.
I listen to your podcast.
Okay, cool. My reputation precedes me. Okay, cool. So you say you want less crime, and I say weed actually has more crime. It brings in crime because of all the cartels that
right, because it's illegal. Because it's illegal.
But if you made it legal, it's not gonna the dispensaries and the taxes you government people are gonna put on it. I'm still gonna buy it on the street because it's gonna be cheaper.
No, you're not. Why would you buy something on the street that you could buy?
If it's a third of the price, I could get it at the dispensary. I probably would buy it on the street. But if you could get it, and when I lived in Boston, Uncle Mike sold it way cheaper than the dispensary down the street did.
Well, okay, great. That's still not crime if it's not illegal.
Oh, if you just make that legal,
if weed is legal,
I guess it says.
Then why is it?
All right, dead end on that one. Okay. Wow.
All right. Well, my libertarian colleagues would. Why do we care?
That's the approach I take to it, because I'm like, I got into this with Senator Hardin yesterday. I feel like I'm bashing him, but he's such a nice guy. I don't want to bash him. But he was like, he talks to me about how the individual needs to come first, and then you can expand outward to the family and the church and the government, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to tell me how I'm not allowed to smoke weed because it makes society worse. And I'm like, where's the individual then?
How does it make society worse? The crime,
the addiction, like it affects other people and all that good stuff.
Then why is alcohol not illegal?
That's what I said. I said that yesterday. I said you're not making any argument that couldn't be made for other things that are legal right now, and that's the problem. Workshop it with me because I truly want to understand that point, but I've never understood it because. Any con argument you can make about weed, you can make about alcohol or tobacco or gambling.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so I like to understand where the other side comes from, and that's where I have a hard time understanding where they come from. On most things, I can see the other side. I
would say that I have colleagues who are Republicans, who are conservative, who support the legalization of weed for the very reasons that we're talking about, like individual choice. If you don't want to wear a motorcycle helmet while riding a motorcycle, that's idiotic.
I've come around on that one as well. I ride motorcycles too.
I actually have not come around on that one, but we can get into that.
Oh, okay. Let me reset my camera real quick.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You have a reputation of being a shit disturber. At times. I have some questions about the practicality of that, and also the shit you were trying to disturb. But we can. I don't think there's nothing productive to be said on weed. It should be legal, and it's not. And I don't understand. Be legal from any way you look at it. It should be legal.
Yeah.
Why can't okay. Heroin has real damage on a community that it is. Yeah. So I get stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
there's no proof beyond the fact that it's illegal, so it's a crime, and the criminal aspect of it is something that is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if we decriminalized it, then that wouldn't be the crime issue wouldn't be an issue any longer.
I've never heard it said in that way before. That's very true.
So take away the crime aspect as an argument as to why we shouldn't decriminalize it.
The only reasonable aspect that comes back into it is the addiction aspect of it.
Sure, but alcohol,
and that's why I'm like, right. It's not consistent.
And cigarettes are far more addictive and far worse for your health. So weed should be legal. My brother, who I serve with in the legislature,
is it decriminalized in Omaha?
No.
Is it kind of like,
no,
don't do it in front of a cop kind of thing?
No, medical marijuana is legal in Nebraska. However, medical marijuana is not legal in Nebraska because our attorney general and the legislature has undone the will of the voters who legalized it at the ballot box and has done everything to make it impossible to legally get medicinal marijuana in Nebraska. So when my brother, who I serve with, is also running for Congress.
District, huh?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
He is also an attorney, and he has been leading the fight against everything that they've been doing to undo the will of the voters in Nebraska. And so he's brought legislation, he's negotiated on it. He's worked with my Republican colleagues to try and get some sort of compromise on it. And at every step, they are throwing up roadblocks. So
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we just need to legalize it at the federal level.
I think so.
I mean, that's
and I
really...
don't know what the holdup is. And I think Trump's actually guy that can do it, because you can say what you want about him, but he's all about doing outlandish shit.
Yeah, I know.
So like, why can't he just decree one day that it's legal and I'll take the win?
Because whatever reason they don't want it, they'll give him money to not do it.
They actually just made it more illegal.
Right.
Did you see the stuff they snuck in there?
Yeah.
They're making the Delta 8 illegal?
Yeah.
Which is, what, dude, I just like, it's not a big deal for when I get high and listen to Bob Marley. Like, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I've been told by my friends at Normal, there's still 3 states that you don't want to get caught with weed in. And this is one of them.
If you have a medical marijuana card and you get caught with...
But like recreationally. I've been told like, you're pretty good in any state. Like, but Iowa, Nebraska, and Wyoming's the worst.
But if you have a medical card from any state, from anywhere, from any provider, and you have weed in Nebraska, then you have it legally. How you obtained it, you may not have obtained it legally.
Oh.
But you...
So they'd have to catch you doing the transaction.
But, well, whoever...
Once you have it,
when you possess it yourself, like, and you have a medicinal card, it's legal. I wouldn't answer any follow-up questions, but I'm not an attorney, so don't.
Okay. I've learned the hard way, when you get caught with it, you don't say anything.
Yeah, never say anything.
Well, I thought that, yeah.
You ask for an attorney.
Uh-huh.
No, they want you to talk, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't talk.
I
used to have the same view about the press. Like, I never would say anything to the press before I was in the legislature. I talk to the press all the time.
My mom goes, why the hell did you tell a cop what you did? I said, you always told me to be honest with police officers.
It's your mom's fault.
I know. I was like, and then she didn't think that was very funny when I told her that me getting arrested for being high in Wyoming was really a reflection of her parenting.
Oh, no.
I was like, he raised me, so you could get mad at it. I was joking, of course, but she didn't think anything that had to do with the situation was funny.
Yeah, I can understand that as a mom.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyway, what are you gonna do? Another argument, if we're talking about arguments that I can see the other side of, abortion is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Because I rationally, I get where you're coming from. If you're Christian, you're like, that's a baby, you're killing a baby, that's not cool.
Sure.
I just happen to not care.
Yeah.
About that. Like, I do care. I don't want to say I don't care about the life of a baby, but I feel like the life of the, like, living full life person should be more prioritized. And also, I think that, what am I trying to say here? I think that, what am I trying to say here? I think as a society, we do a lot of things that are a lot worse. So why are we drawing an arbitrary line there when we don't care about any other stuff?
Yeah.
But at least I get that other side.
Yeah.
Do you get that other side?
I mean, I'm Catholic, so sure, yes, I get that other side, and I support reproductive health and people being having the freedom to make their own choices. What choices I would make would probably be very different than choices that others would make.
Right, and also the libertarian, like, self-to-right determination, like,
right, yeah. But it is arbitrary. Like, why are you okay with 6-week or 12-week ban, but you're not okay with 20-week or health of the mother? Like, if it's a life to you, then why is anything acceptable?
I hear that.
And a lot of people will say nothing is acceptable. They want a total ban. But a lot more people who want abortion restrictions don't want a total ban because they understand the medical side behind it, which means even if you are the most devout Christian in the universe, you might have a tubular pregnancy that will kill you. and it will kill that baby. And you have to have an abortion for one of you to live.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a reality. There's a lot of various
also,
situations.
What a shitty situation to be in,
and what a
like...
shitty situation to be in. And then have your government tell you what to do based on nothing other than a moral feeling, not based on science, not based on best practices, just because some dude who's in the legislature thinks that this is the right thing to do. That's awful. When you have to terminate a pregnancy that you wanted, that you fought for, that you went through IVF for, but it is going to kill you, and your baby's not going to survive because you're going to be dead long before the baby would ever be alive. What the fuck are we doing?
How do you feel about your governor then, who says that Nebraska will be like the most pro-life state? Like, you guys are fundamentally pro-life. That's the messaging from the governor's office. He said that pro-life, the right to life, is enshrined in your state constitution. What did he mean by that? And then second, what do you feel that you feel this way in a sea of people, millions of people that don't feel the same way?
It's enshrined. I don't know what he means. Maybe
that was his. I thought there was maybe something.
There was a ballot initiative. Yeah, I guess it is now in the state constitution. The 12 weeks is in the state constitution because of a ballot.
Oh, that's what he meant.
The ballot initiative, but it's a 12 weeks ban. And what do I think about him saying that Nebraska is a pro-life state? Well, we have the death penalty, so false.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So that's just like right there.
That's a clip. Right there.
That's just a false statement right out of the gate. He is cutting child welfare by $50 million for property tax relief. How is that a pro-life state? Children are going to die in the care of the state.
Let's go womb to
and be abused in the care of the state and be lost in the care of the state. So how is that a pro-life state? We just opened an internment camp for ICE, a detention facility out in western Nebraska. So we are now incarcerating people who have had no due process, who have been charged with nothing, who have been kidnapped from their families, who do not know where they are. How is that a pro-life state? They've been taken from their children. Who's taking care of their children? How are we a pro-life state?
That's good. You raise good points.
We are not a pro-life state. And then we have gone so far as to attack the trans community, the queer community, because they're other. How are we a pro-life state?
My mayor in Casper says that he is pro-life, but because he is pro-life, he also has to be pro-gay rights. He also has to be pro, if there's something wrong with the mother, we have to do a good job taking care of that kid. He's like, if I'm pro-life because I want all of it to work well, the marginalized, the homeless, the needy. He comes from that. That's the only person I've ever been like, oh, okay. I guess I can respect that.
Where does he stand on the death penalty?
He would not be for the death penalty. Putting words in his mouth because I didn't ask him specifically, but the way we talked about it, he that's not the picture you just painted at all with Nebraska.
No. And our governor, absolutely not.
How do you, if you join me for a second in my conquest to understand where the other side comes from, how do you rationalize that? If I force you to choose the other side, play the other side, how do you rationalize one and not the other? Same thing with the weed.
It depends on the person and the motivations. I don't believe that our governor is motivated by anything altruistic whatsoever. I think that he's motivated entirely by self-serving greed. But other conservatives, I think that there's other things that are motivating them. They believe that this is the right path, and then they follow their leader and assume that he has the best of intentions as well. But he does not, in my view, have the same intentions as Christian conservatives.
This is enlightening. I don't think about these things.
He also is a Catholic who is not listening to the Pope on the internment camps. And is not listening to the Catholic Church on how you treat your fellow man. So he is a false idol in my mind.
The part about following the leader is interesting because I feel like as a government politician, you should be following the people who elected you. Like that should be a one-way.
Right.
But
they elected him and he's the executive of the state. And so, and they believe, I do think that my colleagues believe that he is an honest actor, and he's not. He's just not. He's not I do not believe that he's a good person.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I feel that way about my senators and representatives on the federal level.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people who are in these positions are in positions of power so that they can maintain power and grow their own wealth.
It's self-selecting in a way, kind of, because I think like the people that you would want in that job wouldn't want that job. And the people that would corrupt the job would obviously seek the job.
Yes. Yeah.
So
when people talk to me about like, so I'm term limited, my seat's open, people are running. But when people talk to me about like, how do we get more people like you to run? I'm like, elect more people like yourself. Like, look at yourself. What are your values?
Go to your neighbor's house and force them to run.
Or run yourself. I mean, like, why are you, if you don't like who's running, you don't like who's representing you, you should be doing it then. Because if you think that people are going to serve the best interests of the greater good, if they are rich, how did they get rich?
That's good. Yeah, it's a good question.
And how did they build their wealth?
Are they already giving back? Because a lot of people, I feel like, don't realize you can already do stuff.
Yeah.
Just you don't have to be the president to do stuff.
But when you are wealthy, you got wealthy off of the backs of somebody.
Yeah, it's true.
And so,
to a certain point, I think you can be a reasonable amount wealthy.
You can be yes, you can be a reasonable amount wealthy.
If you have a certain amount of money,
yes.
Who has less money now because you have...
Right.
Yeah.
Your workers, because you have shareholders. Like, you have to look at the people that are running for office, and our governor's a perfect example. He is a very wealthy hog farmer. He owns a lot of property in this state, and his farms contribute to a lot of the nitrate runoff in groundwater, which is scientifically looking more and more like it's the reason that we have one of the highest pediatric cancer rates in the country in Nebraska. Is because of nitrates and groundwater runoff.
Shout out real-time health data.
Yep.
Boom.
So yeah, I mean, but he's really wealthy. He owns a lot of land, and his number one priority as governor is property tax relief for rural Nebraska. And when he called us into a special session last year for property tax relief, which we didn't deliver because he wanted to raise taxes across the board on everything else, he would have benefited from his own proposal from just the properties that could be found publicly, $1 million a year.
That's shady.
It's
not
shady. It's in the daylight.
That's true. That's sunny.
It is just right out there for everyone to see.
That's crazy.
The fact of the matter is that he wants property tax relief so that he can have more money.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about bureaucracy for a second.
Oh, yes.
I have a personal gripe with bureaucracy.
Great. Let's hear it.
It's like ridiculous. Like, why do I need to... Why does our school district... This is not your problem because you're not Wyoming, but we already have a high school with offices. Why does our school district need its own separate building on top of a hill that they just do paperwork in? Why is there so much paperwork that it takes an entire building to do the paperwork? I'm a cross-country coach, and in Wyoming, coaches need teaching certifications, which is, I thought it was pretty cool. Pain in the ass, but it's cool that I'm licensed by the Professional Teaching Standards Board, and I'm having a conversation with a woman on the phone, and she's like, oh, she's like, tell me about a form. And I'm like, oh, okay, who do I can you send me the form? She's like, no, Stacy sends you the form. I've been to this office before. I know she shares an office with Stacy. She goes, you need to call Stacy. I go, can you ask her? She goes, Stacy handles that form. I go, is she sitting behind you right now? So this has started my war with bureaucracy.
Yeah.
You head in Congress the Committee on Committees.
No, yeah, in the legislature, we have the Committee on Committees.
What the hell is that?
I am actually not on the Committee on Committees.
Oh, you're not?
No, but
where did I read that?
My brother is.
I read the wrong Cavanagh.
Yeah.
Okay, then what the hell is your brother doing?
So Committee on Committees.
Sorry about that.
No.
I read the wrong Cavanagh.
It's actually an extremely influential committee.
Is it?
But it only meets for like 3 days. So at the start of a new legislature, we have to assign committees. So this is a committee that is voted on by each caucus And so we don't caucus by political party. We caucus by congressional district.
Oh,
so
okay.
CD2, we have all the legislators that are in CD2. We caucus together and we elect our leadership for committee on committees and the executive board. The executive board is essentially the HR board of the legislature, also very influential. So we select 3 members from our caucus to represent our caucus to decide what committees we go on. It only lasts for a couple of days. It's not like it's a special committee. It's not a standing committee. So that's how we get our committee assignments instead of like whoever the supermajority is deciding what committees you get the superminority goes on. That's not how we function.
It feels like maybe you could cut out a layer there. I don't know.
Well,
unsolicited advice.
Well,
but
the layer would be letting political influence of the party in power decide what committee I get to be on.
In the perfect world, the world I want to see, the world I want to live in, the world I must advocate for, you wouldn't have political influence deciding who gets to sit on what committee.
And that's how we do it.
Yeah. Crap.
I'm on appropriations because of our process for committee on committees.
And they would never put you on appropriations.
Oh my God, no. They actually kept me off appropriations for the longest time. I've only been on it for my last 2 years of the legislature because I'm the only person who reads the entire budget.
Okay. All right. You've changed my mind on committees.
In Nebraska. I don't know about other places.
In Nebraska only. I'm on a quest to get down with bureaucracy.
It's like a 3-day thing.
It's a tirade my mom and I both share.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. What's the movie Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Have you seen that? It's all about bureaucracy.
Yeah, and it's just like, this is your guys. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
Is it true that you once read vegan recipes on the floor of the unicameral in Nebraska to filibuster a bill?
It is entirely possible. I filibustered for 60 days. So I talked about a lot of stuff.
Wow. What were you filibustering?
I was filibustering everything in 2023.
Okay.
So one of my colleagues introduced an anti-trans bill,
Let Them Grow Act.
Anti-gender affirming care, yes. And
so this has to do with that?
That and the total abortion ban.
Oh, okay.
So LB 574 in 2023 and LB 626 in 2023. Total abortion ban, ban on gender affirming care. I was on the Health and Human Services Committee. Both of those bills came to my committee, and we voted them out of committee as quickly as humanly possible.
Meaning moved them on through towards the green light.
To go to floor debate. And I told my committee the night that it was an ice storm in February, and I told my committee that if they did this, that they were blowing up the session. I said, this is a terrible bill. It's terribly written. It's unconstitutional. It has all these problems, blah, blah, blah. If you vote this out of committee, this is going to be it. This is going to be what the session is. And I said, just to be clear, I think I said in the executive session.
You said, I'm going to ruin it forever.
No, I think I said that I was going to burn the session to the ground in exec session. So then I get out to my car and I
think I read something like that.
It's an ice storm.
Wow.
And it's nighttime and it's dark out. And I called my husband. I'm sitting in the parking lot and I just started sobbing, telling him what's happening. And he's like, well, do not drive home, please. Stay the night. It's an ice storm. You are hysterical. He didn't say that, but I was hysterical. And so I stayed the night, got up the next morning. There's a hotel near the Capitol. And I walk into the building and a reporter from Nebraska Public Media said, so what are you going to do? And I had no plan. And I just looked at Fred and I said, well, Fred, I have a woman of my word. I guess I'm going to burn it down.
Oh, wow.
And
how does that procedurally, how does it work when you filibuster something? Like, why can you read vegan recipes on the floor of the House Senate?
So how it works is that you can procedurally, how much time do we have left? Oh, boy.
We have 7 minutes.
Okay. So,
and I want to talk about something for 5. So,
okay. Real quick. So you can introduce motions and amendments on every single bill, which I did, and you can talk on all of them. So I timed everything out. So there's 3 rounds of debate. Every bill gets 8 hours on the first round, 4 hours on the second round, 2 hours on the final round.
Okay.
And I just timed out motions and amendments that I attached to everything on every single bill that would equal the amount of time I needed to take if only I talk. So,
I see.
And so I took each bill to cloture vote. You're not.
Wouldn't doing that distract from somebody that might actually have a decent point about the bill if you're taking all the time?
Oh, if other people wanted to talk about the bills, I always allowed that, especially because it meant I didn't have to talk. But I just made sure that every bill went to cloture.
Every bill was talked about the maximum amount it could have been.
Right. But if other people wanted, if the introducer wanted to introduce the bill, if there was a specific amendment that they wanted to get attached, I always worked with people on that stuff unless I wanted to mess with them. Then I didn't.
I mean, regardless of how anybody feels about it, you got to say something for standing up for what you believe in, doing the most.
Well,
so I'll give you a fist bump on
okay.
That's pretty good.
But the point was not that I was going to take down the session for transgender rights. The point was that my colleagues were willing to give up the session because they thought it was more important to go after a small population of people and their healthcare and parental rights in healthcare decision-making, because it was for minors. That was more important to my colleagues than just moving forward. Because every single day I said, you need 17 people to stop a bill. We had 16. Every single day I said, if just one person comes up to me and says they won't vote for cloture on the bill, I will stop. Every single day, my Republican colleagues chose to make that more important than anything else in the legislature. So I made it painful for them. I made their choice painful for them.
So that's the last thing I want to talk about. I'm sure there are other stuff in the bill, because just knowing the nature of these kinds of bills that are passing all over the country, there's always sinister stuff outside of the main issue. So I totally get why you would not want the bill to pass.
Yeah.
If we can only focus in an ideological perfect world about one aspect of the Let Them Grow Act, which is the not denying the gender affirming care for minors.
Yes.
Why is that so bad to you? I would like to understand that more, because where I'm coming from is I kind of get that one. I like to think of myself as a pretty liberal person in most anything, but I think kids are super dumb, and we don't let kids do a lot of stuff. And talking about something like that, it's irreversible. I get why you would.
It's not irreversible.
To be clear, I'm talking about if this was in the bill, and I'm again talking about something.
The surgery piece?
The surgery piece, and also taking hormone blockers. Those two things are not reversible.
Hormone blockers are reversible, but to get gender affirming care in Nebraska, it already is an arduous process. And I knew nothing about this before January 1 of 2023. I didn't know what gender affirming care was. I went through this process. I sat in the committee hearings. I listened to the experts. I followed the testimony. I read the bill. That's what brought me to. I did not have a notion about this to begin with. Like you, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this.
What I'm thinking.
And as I sat through it, as I listened to the medical experts, as I heard the parents testify about the processes that they went through, I was like, why are we doing this? I was convinced through the legislative process that this was actually really a bad idea.
Why was nobody else convinced then?
Because they weren't willing to be.
Not willing to be, or did they not go through the work that it would take to?
You'd have to ask them. I mean, I think both. I think some people shut off the listening.
So then, but if this is only happening, I did a piece on this on my channel a while ago, and the fact of the matter is, no one's getting surgeries if they're 10 years old. Like, that actually just doesn't happen. Like, we're making us think about nothing.
Yes.
So, but like in the world where it does affect so few people,
right?
Why can't we just say, okay, don't do that?
Because we have to have something to make liberals look like we're irrational beings that only care about allowing people to chop off genitals of children.
Well, and like
that's it.
In the bigger picture of like national politics and my state politics in Wyoming and here in Nebraska, why not just give this to them? Like that, this feels like one of the ones.
Give this to Republicans?
Yeah. Like, okay, you're right. We won't chop off genitals of kids.
Because we don't do that. It's at the end.